I was ambushed as soon as I entered their house. Jenny smirked, practically jumping with excitement. "Have a seat," she demanded. "We need to talk." I hadn't even taken off my coat yet. The family text had simply said, "Meeting at 6, without any other details. Now, I was standing in my parents' living room, like I was on trial, foolishly holding a gift basket. My mom's smile seemed forced from her armchair. Dad was too relaxed, swirling his wine on the sofa. My brother Michael was pretending to be uninvolved, scrolling on his phone by the window. "What's this all about?" I asked, sensing the change in atmosphere. "Did someone die?" "No one died," Dad replied, putting his glass down for dramatic effect. "We took a vote about the reunion." "A vote on what?" I asked. "You're out," he stated. The word stung. "We decided it would be better if you didn't join us in Tuscany next month." Silence filled the room. I blinked hard, thinking they must be joking. They weren't. Jenny's face lit up. "It's about the group dynamic," she explained. "You're always so tense, making things stressful. Remember last year, you argued with that waiter over the service charge and embarrassed Mom? It was over €80. I shot back. "I was the only one who realized they were ripping us off." "You're welcome," Mom said softly, avoiding my gaze. "We just want peace this year." I looked at them in disbelief. These were the same people who had begged me to book their flights, who had texted me just 2 weeks earlier to ask if I could cover the villa deposit until my dad's bonus came in. It was $7,000. They had me charge it to my card the same day and sent me thumbs up emojis. "Let me get this straight," I said slowly. "You're kicking me off a trip I planned and paid for?" Dad just shrugged. "We can pay you back. I didn't choose to be excluded," I pointed out. Jenny crossed her legs as if she were a judge in a courtroom. "You've been so uptight lately," she said. "All these talks about boundaries and budgets. You've changed." I laughed sharply. "Yes, I started saying no." She bulldozed over my comment. "This is supposed to be a fun trip. Honestly, you're a real buzzkill." I shot back. "You mean I'm stopping you from drinking €18 spritzes on my credit card?" Mom warned. "Don't make this ugly." "Oh, I won't," I said. I pulled out my phone, opened the travel app, and tapped a few buttons. Dad's phone buzzed. "What was that?" he muttered. "That was me blocking the travel card," I said calmly. "The one I use for your flights, hotels, and that villa you just had to have. The one no one ever paid me back for." "You can't do that," Jenny yelled, jumping to her feet. "Can I?" I replied. "I just did." Michael finally spoke up. "What are we supposed to do now? The trip is in 3 weeks." I told him. "Figure it out." Then I added, "You're all so relaxed. Just manifest the money." My mom snapped. "You're acting like a child." I looked her directly in the eyes. "No, Mom. I stopped acting like a wallet." Dad stood up, furious. "This is just out of spite." "No," I said, grabbing my keys. "This is me being done." I walked out, leaving them frozen in place with trembling wine glasses and suddenly unfunded dreams. They didn't just betray me. They had plotted it together. That night, sleep was impossible. My phone kept buzzing. Jenny sent 3 laughing emojis. I ignored them. Around midnight, my mom texted, "Don't let this ruin everything. We still love you. You're just making the trip difficult." "Making it difficult?" I thought. "I paid for it. I planned it. I booked the 5-star villa because they begged me to, and somehow I'm the problem." The next morning, everything blew up. My cousin Maya, who I hadn't spoken to in months because Jenny hated her, called me. "Hey," she said. "I heard what happened. Are you okay? How did you hear?" I asked. There was a pause. They posted about it. Posted where? I asked. On Instagram, she replied. Jenny said you had a breakdown and canceled because you were jealous. My blood ran cold. What? I asked. Maya explained that Jenny had posted a picture of wine glasses clinking with the caption, "When the toxic one finally removes himself. Hashtag Narcissus free." I couldn't speak. They had voted me out, lied about it, and were now publicly humiliating me online. This isn't new, Maya continued. Jenny's been talking trash about you for months. Really nasty stuff. She told people you were having money problems and that you begged to be included and threatened to cancel if people didn't praise you more. I stood up, feeling dizzy. What? I asked. She said, she's been spreading lies everywhere, trying to isolate you. I hung up the phone. An hour later, I checked my email and pulled up the flight itinerary. I couldn't believe it. Jenny's seat had been upgraded to business class, not mine. Then I opened the hotel reservation and nearly dropped my phone. She had used my card again 2 days ago, slipping in a $1,500 charge while I was arguing with them. That was the last straw. I called the airline. I'd like to cancel all 4 tickets under my last name, I said. Every single one of them. That evening, I went to their house. I wasn't there to argue. I needed to see their faces. My mom opened the door, and her smile vanished. Oh, it's you. Don't act surprised, I said. You've posted enough online. I walked into the living room. Dad was reading his paper, and Jenny was hunched over her laptop, browsing flights. You'll need a different card, I announced. She looked up. What? Travel card is blocked. Flights are canceled. Villa is rebooked. Tuscany is off. You wouldn't, she said. I did. You're sabotaging everything, she yelled. I let out a dark laugh. You sabotaged it when you cut me out. Dad lowered his paper. Don't be rash, he warned. Rash? I asked. You voted me out of my own trip, used my money, and let her spread lies. This isn't rash. This is justice. Justice? Jenny stood up, her face red. You've always been bitter that I'm the one everyone listens to. That's funny, I said, pulling a folded paper from my pocket. Because I listened to your bank statement. I tossed it onto the coffee table. Jenny's eyes widened. That's the same card you've been using, I said. It has 90 days of transactions, including spa packages, designer handbags, and a non-refundable yacht deposit in Positano. You were planning a side trip. Let's all just calm down, my mom began. Calm down? I barked. You call me difficult for asking for receipts, while she's booking yachts like royalty. Jenny lunged for the statement. You've gone too far. No, I said. I'm finally free. She froze. What? I called the bank and reported fraud. I told her. There's an investigation underway. You wouldn't dare, she said. I smiled coldly. I dared. They have everything, timestamps, IP addresses, and delivery addresses. You're not just losing a vacation. You're losing your credit score. Get out, she screamed. You're not family anymore. Finally, I said, something we agree on. A week later, I received a letter from a lawyer. My own parents and sister had hired a lawyer to sue me for financial disruption. I didn't reply. Instead, I made a plan. The following Saturday at 6 p.m. was family dinner, the last one. My dad went pale when he saw me. What are you doing here? He asked. You invited me, I said. Didn't you read your lawyer's letter? Everyone was seated, Mom, Jenny, her boyfriend, and Michael. Perfect, I thought. I set my tablet down and plugged in the HDMI cable. "What is this?" Jenny asked, rolling her eyes. "Just a slideshow," I said cheerfully. "Let's get on the same page before court." I pressed play. The first slide was a screenshot of her upgrading her flight with my card. The next was a hotel receipt under my name with her signature for $800. Then came a video, security footage of her checking in, laughing with her boyfriend, and tapping my card. The room was silent. Jenny reached for the tablet. "I have backups," I said. "This is a setup," she yelled. "It's funny how it aligns perfectly with your spending history," I replied. "You don't understand my stress," she snapped. "You promised to help." "I did help," I said. "I paid. I bled myself dry. You stole." My dad slammed his hand on the table. "You're destroying this family," he yelled. "You destroyed it when you exiled me and then tried to sue me with your fraudulent daughter." I shot back. "I'm your father, and I'm done being your piggy bank," Jenny hissed. "You're pathetic." I pulled out the final document, the official, dated, and sealed bank fraud investigation letter. Michael leaned forward. "You really filed that?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "I gave her a week to pay it back. She posted memes instead." Jenny turned to Michael. "You're taking his side?" He didn't answer. "We're a family," my mom shrieked. "No," I said coldly. "We're users and givers. I'm done being the giver." Jenny lunged as if she were going to slap me. "You'll regret this in court when everyone finds out." "Finds out what?" I asked, my voice cracking. "That I paid for your lifestyle while you mocked me? That you committed fraud and blamed me? You treated me like a wallet, not a son. Just a resource. Well, the resource is exhausted." Then Michael stood up. "I'm done too," he said quietly. "I've seen all the lies, the guilt trips, and the gaslighting. I didn't want to rock the boat, but you did the right thing." My mom's voice shook. "You tried to erase him and steal from him, then you act like he's the villain," Michael said, looking at Jenny. She just stared at him. "You're just jealous of me." "Maybe," Michael replied. "But I didn't steal a yacht." I grabbed my coat. "One more thing," I said. "Your phone plan, Netflix, car insurance, all of it is canceled. You want to go to Tuscany? Earn it yourselves. This ATM is closed." I walked out and never looked back. They thought I would fall apart, but instead they did. That night, I wasn't anxious. I felt alive. I had stood up for myself, fought back, and didn't back down. Day one, my phone was silent. No guilt trips, just peace. I made coffee, opened the windows, and danced like someone who had burned bridges and was enjoying the fire. At 3:42 p.m., the silence was broken. Michael texted. "They're freaking out," he wrote. "Mom's crying." Jenny locked herself in her room. "Dad says you destroyed the family. Did you tell him I kept it afloat for 6 years?" I asked. "Yep," he replied. Day 2, my inbox was flooded with messages from extended family members and cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. They had all seen Jenny's deleted Instagram stories and heard about the fraud. They were furious with her. "We had no idea what you were dealing with," one message read. "Always knew something was off with Jenny. You're not alone." One message stood out from Aunt Clara, who had cut off my mom 20 years ago. "You did what none of us had the courage to do," she wrote. "I'm proud of you." I was crying before I even realized it. Day 3, Michael called from the gym. She broke down, full meltdown, threw a wine glass, and screamed that it was their fault because now the extended family is blacklisting her, he said. "She said you humiliated her and ruined her chances with Brian. He found out about the fraud. Michael explained. He dumped her and said he doesn't date criminals. I nearly choked on my laughter. She also screamed about you being Grandma's favorite, he continued. Apparently, Grandma updated her will and left you the house. There was a moment of silence. She told me last year, Michael said. She said you were the only one who checked on her without asking for money. On day 5, my dad knocked on my door. He stood there stiffly. Can I come in? No, I said. He flinched. I want to talk. Now you want to talk? I asked. Your mom isn't doing well. She hasn't eaten since dinner, and Jenny. If you're here to guilt trip me, turn around, I warned. We were wrong. All of us. You let them erase me, I said. Now that the money is gone and Jenny is exposed, you suddenly remember me. Is there any chance we can fix this? No, I said, and I shut the door.